So today, guys, I will be talking about recent damage control that was done with this Joel Osteen character. So on February 11th, ironically was the same day as the Super Bowl, there was this shooting at this church. Usually this would be a Patreon video, but this is major damage control, and I am going to be revealing sets of characters in this, so I won't be going in depth with this shooting and explaining everything because YouTube is very sensitive about that stuff. But one thing I do want to point out is that the shooting and the Super Bowl were both on February 11th, which is Sunday, sun worship. Also, February is the second month, 2 energy, feminine energy, 11, 1 plus 1 equals 2, 2 energy. This is 22, killing, all right? And this is a very emotional day because of the energy. The energy is in 2 and it's in 11, which is 2. It's like how they had that event that was in the 9th month on the 11th day, okay? They use 11 with emotional events. That's something people should know. Now, this is all damage control from when I made a video 2 years ago on Tim Allen being Joel Osteen. That was at the very beginning of my channel. That video will be 3 years old pretty soon. And they're doing damage control to things that I did a long time ago. Guys, like I've said before, the damage control lately just has been crazy. They just won't stop. So this gets even creepier. On February 8th, I made a video on Smokey Robinson being Tiny Harris and Alan Payne. And in that video, at the 3-minute and 50-second mark, I mentioned how Smokey Robinson has other characters, Joel Osteen, Tim Allen. I mentioned that directly in this video. And in that video, I even said I probably won't get to that. And the reason I said that is because those characters are born, and I didn't think that they would do anything for me to have any reason to make a video on them because I already made a video on them in the past. But of course, they do this damage control right after my video. I mean, right after. It was like the same thing with the Eminem situation. I made the video on the 8th, and then I think on the 10th, they attempted to fake kill his character. They did a psyop on everybody. Think about that. You know, that's crazy. So we see the same situation is happening again. And this is major damage control, major. And I just get this weird feeling like they watch my videos because I vaguely referenced Joel Osteen and Tim Allen recently in my video that I posted on February 8th. So here's a side-by-side because now I guess I'm getting to this video and you guys can see for yourselves. This is a side-by-side and it's freaky. They have the same creepy smile, these weird obnoxious teeth, same exact character, just different races. That's what they do all the time. This is Tim Allen and Smokey Robinson, and they're the same also. See, this is a big group of characters. And let this be known, this does not make the fact that Smokey is tiny and Ellen Payne disappear. It does not make it disappear. They're still the same. All of this is intertwined. This is a web of characters. And this is where Smokey gets the colored eyes from. 5 months ago, I did a video on their younger character, which is Liver King. I think this entire situation that occurred on the 11th was a response to the first video I made, this video, and my previous video on Smokey Robinson. That's 3 videos on these characters. And something else I want to point out is that they make characters bigger, or they just make them in general right after our videos. And I think that this Liver King character was made after my video. I think he became bigger after my video. Not this video, but the one I made about Joel Osteen and Tim Allen, because he did not exist around that time period. And if he did, he was small. So they purposely exalt them after a video that we make about them. And here's a side-by-side of Tim Allen and Liver King. And Liver King is a very barbaric, nasty character. And I still don't understand how it's allowed on the internet. I don't understand. He could do all this nasty stuff, yet we say anything, we in trouble. Let that be known. It doesn't make sense. They always protect their little maid puppets. They always do that. And here's another side-by-side. This one is super obvious. It is insane how much they look alike with this one. Their nose is just so identical. And one thing I think these characters share are the eyes. That's where Smokey Robinson gets the eyes from. Now I want to do a small amount of gematria to explain the situation to you guys. So this church that Joel Osteen has is called Lakewood Church. Lakewood Church equals 66 in 3 ciphers: the reduction, single reduction, and keypad cipher. And also the pastor at this church that everyone goes crazy over, everyone that's unconscious, Joel equals 66 in 2 ciphers, the reverse and the cipher X cipher. So the question here is, why does he equal 66? And what is the importance of this church equaling 66? Well, to me, when I seen that, anytime I see 66, I just think about the Church of Satan, which was founded in 1966. That's what I think of. And I think that's a huge connection. Now, let's go to the address of this church. The address of this church matches to something big is coming with 127 in the single reduction cipher. There is something big that is coming. What? I do not know, but there is too many symbolic things going on in the world right now. And there's so many people who are distracted right now. And I think people shouldn't be distracted. I think people should be piecing together things that are being shown in the media, things that are happening in life. People are too distracted. They're making all these distractions. And then they're just really going to mess everybody up that's distracted. They're going to catch them slipping, per usual. People always want things to be normal. I accidentally cut this off, but basically, you guys can check for yourself. Second Great Depression matches to the address of this church. So Second Great Depression, if you guys are unfamiliar with the Great Depression was basically when the entire system collapsed. And the entire system's going to collapse again, okay? And that's just a vague description of the Great Depression. It's so encoded. Basically, the Great Depression is when the stock market crashed and everybody just went poor. People were struggling, and we can all see with inflation and all the other stuff that the system will crash. So the tax ID of this church starts with 74. Guys, come on now, are we serious? 74? Killing equals 74 in the ordinal cipher in gematria. And not only that, when I was reading up on this situation, because I ignored this situation when I seen it, I do not care about this stuff. You cannot go on any app without them trying to force these psyopses on you. So when I was reading about this, it says that a 47-year-old man was, I don't even got to continue reading. The fact that a 47-year-old man was involved in this, and the tax ID has 74 in it, and 74 equals killing, and this was a shooting, which was a killing. Come on, really? Really? This is just insane. Details are everything. Wake up and start seeing details. Don't fall for this stuff. This is just brief information that I found instantly just from looking at this. I don't think anything else needs to be explained to show how fake this is to people. And I don't mean fake that it didn't exist. No, I mean it was simulated. It was pre-planned, and it did happen, and they had certain individuals in place, like this 47-year-old man, to be hurt. There could be real people there. You could be there. Anybody could be there. But they're still going to go on with the street theater. They're still going to do the show. They're still going to perform. They got things to script out. They have psyopses to run. They got fear to push, fear propaganda. They're going to lock everybody in their house and have everybody on VR. That's what this is. They're making all places seem unsafe. What do you guys think that's for? Because they're going to lock you in your houses and have you on VR. I talked about this in my VR AR video because, oh, ironic, I say AR and the gun was a AR. Come on now. Augmented reality is AR. That's the acronym for AR. When you see them doing these things, making all these places look unsafe, plotting out all these things, please understand that they're trying to push fear propaganda to get us all disconnected. People do not talk to people no more. People have been conditioned and programmed by all that they put out that now people are so divided. And I had talked about this in my VR video that there was these ads that kept being shown, and it was like a mom or a dad, they're in VR, and there's a kid in the background, and it's like during the day. And I keep thinking, why aren't the kids in school? What does this mean? Is this symbolic of something? And it is. Now, I'm not going to talk further about that because that belongs on Patreon. And I've already talked about this stuff in my AR VR video. So I recommend you guys go check out that video. And everybody is hopping on AR right now, augmented reality. People was dissing me when I made that video exposing AR. People were saying, oh, it's not going to get big. People aren't going to get that. But I knew. I do my research. And my research doesn't involve me going to go watch some random person that's involved telling me what's going to happen. No, my research is intuition. I go and look at everything for what it is. Everything that was ever made by Apple has always sold, and bots seem to always jump for it. So when Apple decides to put something out like that, that's a new world order, and we should all be really cautious with wanting to get that stuff. And I really hope nobody watching this video has that, because that is insane. That is really insane. So Joel Osteen is 60 years old. This is a 60-year-old man. And no, this is not a man. They're all inverted. They're both genders. But this character is 60 years old. I want to let you guys in on something that I've noticed. And I noticed this when I looked at Beyonce. And then I had seen like some page on Instagram that was like, Beyonce's only 40 something, whatever age she is. And they was like showing how she looks. And there was all these older real women who were in the comment section saying, wow, she's lucky, and saying they look so bad. Guys, these characters are fake. They are purposely making these characters look completely young at such a crazy age. I mean, he looks nowhere near 60. He looks 35. Literally, that's the age that I think when I look at him. He looks 35. And then you know what's crazy? Recently, I was looking at Joe Biden, and I couldn't believe he was the age that he is. And he has little to no wrinkles on him. His skin doesn't look all loose. Like, it's because they can't age them. Whenever they age them, they either gonna look bad or they either gonna still look young, because they are artificial. When you make something that's from a computer screen, a sim character, their aging process is artificial. There are certain things they cannot imitate, and that's what people need to focus on if they can't detach from celebrities. If you want to know how they're fake, look at when they're a kid and look at when they're old. For some reason, they cannot fake or imitate or make their characters look young, and they can't make them look old. And when I say young, I mean a baby, a kid. Because if you ever look at these kids, they promote Blue Ivy, North, all of them. They have this grown look to them. So they purposely push them out to look more grown to people, already wearing like hair weave and makeup and stuff like that. People just make up this lousy excuse like, oh, well, they're celebrity kids. They gotta look like that because they're performing and they're famous, etc. But they don't realize the underlying reasoning behind this. It's because they're fake and they can't imitate real children and they can't imitate real old people in a sim making lab, whatever they use to make them. Another reason behind these characters not aging and when they're older they look younger is to make regular people insecure. That goes for the kids that they also put out. Why they look so much mature than the average kid is to make those kids insecure. So that's another reason why they do this. Also, Joel Osteen is a creepy looking character. He just has this nasty smile. He's always smiling, and people shouldn't be fooled by this always smiling weirdo. You know, and he just looks creepy. He has like this serial killer look to him. Right here, I had showed this in my old video, my first ever video on Joel Osteen. They said Joel Osteen looked like if Tim Allen sold his soul to the devil for eternal youth. And that's what he does look like. Key detail here is a word devil, because he's like a Christian pastor, but here's where this really connects, beside him being a pastor, because all of that is just fake. I'm not even going to get into all of that. People who are giving their money up and donating like an idiot to these people, that's something you just going to have to deal with. It's like you cannot wake those people up at all. So The big connection with this word devil is that Joel and Kanye were together. Smokey and Kanye were also together. So they have a mutual person involved in this. They always do this. Same characters, different font, hang around the same person, connected to the same person. So Kanye has a song called Devil in a New Dress, and the intro is sampled from a Smokey Robinson song. This is crazy. This is a big connection. Please remember and note this. They're always going to be around someone who's connected to the other character that they are. Always. Moving on. This has been known for a very long time. I found this article from 2007 talking about how Joel Osteen is Martin Short and Tim Allen mixed. And that's what my original video was about. And we see that there's always issues with him and his church. When there was a hurricane years ago, there was something that happened where he wouldn't let people in there. And then we see now they have this crazy incident going on there. And CNN mistaked Tim Allen as Joel Osteen. That is insane. And this is something that people always mention when they talk about Joel Osteen and Tim Allen looking alike. And they're not just lookalikes, they are the same. They were made to be that way. When they decided to make Joel Osteen's character, what they did is they took a template already out, Tim Allen, another template already out, Martin Short, another template that would be added to this that they want to gatekeep, Smokey Robinson. They took that template, mixed it up, and then they produced him. That's what they did. All the time. Like, this is important stuff because people wouldn't be going to this church, giving up their money. So yeah, guys, Joel Osteen, Tim Allen, Liver King, Smokey Robinson, and all Smokey Robinson characters, they're all the same. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate you guys so much.